Good afternoon, one and all. A very warm welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar on reversing diabetes the Ayurvedic way as part of institutional social responsibility organized by the Department of Information Technology, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute. This is being conducted as part of our Honorable Founder Chancellor Thiru A.C. Shanmugam Sir's birthday. To start off today's event, I call upon our HOD, Dr. N. Kanya Madam, to give the welcome address.
Am I audible, ma'am? Thank you, Dahlia, ma'am. The greatest wealth is health. With this quote, I am Kanya. Happy to welcome you all to this afternoon for the webinar on reversing diabetes Ayurvedic way. On the occasion, we are conducting this event on the occasion of our founder chancellor, Dr. A.C. Shanmugam sir's birthday celebration. Is an ISR, institutional social responsibility event for our department. I'm happy to welcome all the participants who have taken part for this event. And I'm happy to welcome today's speaker, Dr. R. Sivakumar sir, who is always a great speaker and also a good doctor, and always who inspires us through his speech, and also motivate us and inspire us to be healthy in a natural way. Welcome you, sir, for this event today. And I'm happy to welcome the executives who are there, attending this event today. I'd like to thank the coordinator of the event, Dr. Dahlia Sam, who made this event a grand success. I'll take this opportunity to thank the faculty members of my department who always be the pillar of support for me to organize these kind of event in a successful manner. Hope this will be a happy and healthy afternoon to all of us. I'm sure that we are going to listen a fruitful lecture from Dr. Sivakumar sir. Stay tuned to learning and listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Before we get into the session, let me just quickly brief the guidelines for our participants. After the end of towards the end of the session, we'll be posting a feedback link in the chat box, in the YouTube chat box. It will be active for around half an hour. Only the participants who fill the chat box, the feedback form will be eligible for certification. So stay tuned till the end. Please avoid unnecessary chats in the chat box. So let's get into today's session. So as we all know, Ayurveda is one of the world's oldest holistic treatment healing systems, and it was started around 3000 years ago in our very own country. Its main goal is to build our body's immune system and to maintain a good health and not fighting the disease. So now we have an experienced Ayurvedic doctor, Dr. Sivakumar, with us, who will give further information about Ayurveda and also about diabetes. So before we hand over the session to him, I request my colleague, Mrs. C. Tamil Selvi, to give a formal introduction about our guest speaker.
Good evening all, this is Tamil Selvi, Assistant Professor, Department of IT. It is a great pleasure to introduce our guest of the day, Dr. R. Sivakumar. Dr. R. Sivakumar comes from the family which practices medicine since generations. He finished his graduation, Bachelor of Ayurveda Medicine and Surgery, from the famous century-old College of India, the Venkatramana Ayurveda Medical College, Chennai, and his master's specialization in Kaya Chikitsa from Hubli Ayurveda Sevasmiti Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Hubli. During his post-graduation, he did his research work on osteoarthritis and proved the concept of um, Chontogenesis through Ayurveda, for which he was greatly appreciated by Department of Ayush, Government of India, New Delhi at centenarial celebration of Government Ayurveda College, Mysore, Karnataka. He desires to develop the multi-specialty hospital in Ayurveda, made him to do his MBA in hospital management from Alagappa University, Tamil Nadu, during the same time of his post-graduation. He is now the notable faculty of Department of Internal Medicine at Sri Sairam Ayurveda Medical College and Research Center, Chennai. He presently holds the post of Secretary for Ayurveda Postgraduate Association, Tamil Nadu, and also the Secretary for All India Ayurveda Congress, Chennai unit, and represents the organization at all the levels and been an important person in bringing out the first government Ayurveda college at Kota Nagarkoil in Tamil Nadu. He has presented numerous research papers in challenging diseases and has given informative guest lectures in school, colleges, etc. He also continuously writes health articles in newspaper, magazine, and addresses media, TV, news channels frequently. He is an active member of Rotary Club of Chennai Golden Star and will be holding a very important post of Assistant Governor of Rotary International District 3232 for the year 21-22. He is presently the Associate Director, Maternity and Child Health, Rotary International District 3232. He does many free medical camps on behalf of Rotary and frequently addresses the public and gives lecture on uniqueness of Ayurveda and its benefits through Rotary, Lions Club and NGO organization. He was even awarded the Best President Award for the Rotary year 1890 in the Rotary District 3232, India. He runs specialty clinic at Coimbatore, West Mambalam, Chennai Nagar, Mohabir West, Tiruvannamalai and Sivagangai and treats people in distress. He is an expert in Panchakarma through which he cures enormous diseases right from common cold to cancer, arthritis, stroke, psoriasis, asthma, etc. He has his own multi-speciality hospital, first of its kind in Chennai, the Chennai Heritage Hospital, a state-of-art 30-bedded multi-speciality hospital in Ayurveda and Siddha, and efficiently runs the hospital as its medical director. Ulaga Tamil Araichi Nirvanam, Government of Tamil Nadu has facilitated him with the prestigious Dhanvantri Award recently for his contribution towards ancient medicine. He was also conferred with Ayurveda Nakshatra Award by the Ayurveda Graduate Association of Tamil Nadu for his contribution to Ayurveda. He was also he also gives information articles, videos through YouTube lectures, and also the videos are available with Chennai Heritage Hospital website and the Telegram app. On behalf of the Department of IT and the participants, I am extremely happy to welcome you, sir.
Good afternoon, all. First of all, I personally thank management of Dr. MGR Educational University, Royal, and Department of IT for inviting me to give this most important topic for this current situation on diabetes. Thank you very much for calling me. We will get into the session directly. So let me share the screen first. So reversing diabetes the Ayurvedic way is today's topic. Let us see what all you know and what all you are going to know from today's session. I hope this session would be a game changer for you, your understanding on diabetes and how to prevent or overcome it. Yes. This is my hospital Coimbatore and I have a clinic at Westmorland and Mogapere also. Let us see first the evaluation of diseases. So, in olden days, prehistoric era, we had either malnutrition or natural calamities causing diseases like earthquakes, tsunamis, such other things, or wildlife, or accidents from falling from trees, and such other injuries led to diseases. Some 100 years back, we started having many infectious diseases like cholera and such other things, polio. But because of our sanitation, our hygiene, our educational standards, our living standards, we have overcome all these diseases. Of course, COVID is there. We have not overcome them, but still, we have overcome majority of the communicable diseases. And now, where are we landing? We are landing in having lifestyle diseases. I hope there are many participants listening to the lecture now. Can any one of you say that my digestion is the best, sir? I have a proper digestion. In Tamil, we say, Kallai karakkum maidu. So, in the middle age, up to middle age, even if you take stones, you have to digest it. That amount of digestive capacity you should have. Can anybody acknowledge that you have such a digestive capacity? I hope nobody can do that because of our diet and lifestyle now. Our sensitive uh, digestion has happened and led to so many diseases now. So now, except for COVID, all the other diseases are lifestyle based. Let us see what are they. Yes. So because of excessive nutrition, overnutrition, and because of lack of activities, sedentary lifestyle, first thing to develop is a tire around our tummy. Often, this tire around the tummy is seen as a professional upgrade in our age, in our society, in our everything. But is this helping us? No, because obesity, that too central obesity, is the first and foremost reason of having all the lifestyle disorders in our life. Example, cholesterol, hypertension, diabetes, joint disorders, depression, stress, cardiac diseases, and even cancer, stress, and so many things comes on building upon one simple thing called as obesity. So we start with obesity, and invariably most of the obese people cross all these stages, and by 70s, 60s, 70s, they land up in having most of these diseases, or at least one of these are there. Even if you ask anybody in your family of 4 or 5 people, at least one will be suffering from any of this, or most of them will be suffering of any of this. So that is the kind of situation now we are living. So even though today's topic is diabetes, but the reason for diabetes is obesity and sedentary lifestyle and nourishment. So that is why I put this chart, because in preventing diabetes, the steps that we take, we are going to prevent entire set of all these diseases called lifestyle diseases. Okay, coming to diabetes. Now, what do you know about diabetes? You all know, okay, blood sugar level, it increases, it doesn't come down, it is called diabetes. But do you know the real meaning of the word diabetes? Dia means to, and Bayanian means to go. So diabetes means passing mellitus, sweet urination. So the exact word which is coined in the modern system is available in a 3,000-year-old system, Ayurveda, called Prameham or Madhumeham, where exactly the same meaning is expressed, passing sweetish urination. Okay, and Prameham says turbid urination, whereas Madhumeham says turbid sweetish urination. So that is how we have defined diabetes in our culture 3,000 years back. You have to be aware of this. And even in Tamil, we call this disease as neeridivu. where edema means excessive loss of need, which is nothing but water from the body. Yes. See, why we have to be very, very concerned about this is India is becoming the capital of world diabetic patients. Right now, we are crossing 47 crores of diabetic population all over the world, whereas in India, we are crossing 15 crores. Whereas in 2045, it will be more than double, which is really a concern, right? So that is why we are sitting here and speaking on diabetes. Yes. Diabetes is a killer. Let me give an example. See, you get a small nagachuti. In Tamil, we call as nagachuti. No, that's a small problem with your nail, and it gives immense pain. It gives a lot of stress. So we run from pillar to pole. We put antibiotics. We put ointments, topical applications. We put home remedies like turmeric to the finger. All these things we do and try to get out of it. Why? Because it causes pain. But what happens in diabetes? It gives a sort of maya, illusion to the patient. My sugar levels are 240, but I'm all right. Why should I take medicines? That is how the patient is made to think about diabetes. That is the illusion that the patient is given because of this disease. So that is why it kills about 3.2 million people every year, because we are not concerned about the diabetes initially. Once after it crosses 10 years, 12 years, a lot of complications come. Whenever you go to any doctor, you go to a neurologist, you go to a gastroenterologist, you go to a reproductive specialist, anywhere you go, he will first tell that your diabetes is the reason for all of your complaints. So that is when we realize that our diabetes is killing us. So this diabetes, when we are speaking this minute, is killing 6 people all over the world. Mind it, 6 people is not a small amount for every minute. So that has to be there. And I think some of the some of the college students are here. They might think, what is a concern for me? I am after all 2021. Why should I worry about diabetes? It is going to come after 40. No, not true, because diabetes can happen even below 10-year-old people. So kindly be very conscious. Last Sunday, I was having a camp. In that, a 14-year-old girl, my staff said that she is a small girl. Why should we need to do a random blood check? But the complaints was typical of a diabetic patient. So I insisted my staff to do a random blood check. I could see about 389 was her sugar levels. So that is very important. If that in that camp that girl would have not come, if I have not checked her sugar, maybe after some time it should have gone to a higher level and she would have got all complications. Thank God that the girl came that day and we were able to help her. So that is how this diabetes is impacting everybody. Comparatively, many people do exercises, many people have very good lifestyle, but still they'll end up in having diabetes because of there are other reasons we will see now. Yes. So this is how generally the sugary details happen in the body. So I'll tell you an example. We have suppose a small town where every house has a gate, and there is a security sitting in the gate, and there is a vendor who is selling groceries, who is selling the vegetables outside. And if all the people inside the home, they are telling the security to buy the vegetables, and if suppose the security doesn't have the gate key to open, what will happen? This vendor will keep on roaming to the all streets of that particular town. Nobody will open the gate, nobody will buy the vegetables, and if somebody comes to buy the vegetables, he will not get the vegetables. So that is how diabetes is impacting everybody.
Sir, are you available? Okay. I request the participants to just hold on. I think got disconnected while he connects back.
Am I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
now, yes. Can you
Okay.
share your presentation again, sir?
Yeah. Till which screen it was available?
You share it, I'll.
Was this available?
Yes. Yeah. This, I think, this you finished. Yeah.
Okay, so let me go to the next slide where we were speaking on the world capital, India becoming the world capital of diabetes. See the stats in 2020, global diabetic population is 47 crores, whereas Indian population has become 15 crores, which will be doubled in 2030. And diabetes is becoming
We're not able to hear you.
you're able to hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear.
Okay,
I think you need to share the presentation again.
yeah. Is it visible now? Am
Yes,
I
yes,
audible? Yeah.
yes, we can see it.
Okay. So India is becoming the capital of diabetes, world capital of diabetes. In 2020, it was 47 crores globally, whereas Indian population of diabetes was 15 crores, whereas in 2045, it is going to be 70 crores all over, and India will be occupying half of the world's diabetic population. So that is why we are more concerned about diabetes. That is why we are speaking on diabetes. See, by this minute that we are having this discussion, 6 people in the world are killed because of diabetes. Minded, 6 people every minute. I hope some of the people here are students. They might think that what is the worry for me? I'm after all 20. When 40 comes, I'll become. I might think about diabetes, or I might need to worry about diabetes. What is the reason I should worry now? But that is not the case. Diabetes can even affect people below 10 years, children below 10 years. Last week, I had a camp where a small girl came, but we were not checking her blood sugar because she was a small girl. But because of her symptoms, I insisted my staff to check the blood sugar. It was 389. So that test had revealed that she was diabetic, and we were able to give some medicines, and we were able to bring her to a safer zone. So that kind of impact diabetes has on everybody, every citizen of the world, including particularly India. So it kills about 3.2 people every year. So 3.2 million people are dying because of diabetes. So when we come to the sugary details, our carbohydrates and other materials that we eat, so generally they enter the food system and they get converted into the sugar, and sugar gets floating in the blood. And when the cells are not able to absorb the sugar because of lack of connectivity with the insulin, or the insulin becomes inactive, so that is when we check into the blood, we have a lot of sugars, and we term that as diabetes. So this is a simple explanation that I like to give you, and you need to know why there is a lot of sugars in our blood. Yes, of course, there are two types of diabetes that we are speaking now is type 2, which is lifestyle induced, which is not because of insulin, but because of insensitivity of insulin. I hope I'm audible. I hope my presentation is visible. Madam, am I audible? Madam, hope it is visible and audible. Let me continue. See, the causes of diabetes. So, when you go back to Ayurveda, which is like 3000 years old, and when you come to allopathy, which is upgrading every minute, you see the most of the causes of diabetes are still the same about modern medicine and Ayurveda. Ayurveda goes to more particular definitions like taking heavy foods, cold foods, intake of curd frequently, and sleeping during daytime. All these are also the causes of getting diabetes. And recent researchers say that these are 100% true. So this is what I want to show you. You can see modern textbooks and Ayurvedic textbooks, most of the causes are one and the same. There are other some causes which you need to know. People who smoke are recently found to have diabetes. So this is very alarming. What is the relationship between smoking and diabetes? Yes, there is a relationship. What is the use of alcohol? Alcohol abuse can cause risk in developing diabetes. And obesity, central obesity is what is modern textbook says, and that is what Ayurveda also says, because of lot of free radicals being produced in the abdominal fat leading to diabetes is noted in Ayurveda as well as in modern medicine. And this is typically a new topic. Now, this is more relevant because everybody has depression and everybody has stress. So, incident rate of stress and diabetes is about 20%, not 2%, it's about 20%. There are a lot of examples that can be said. One simple example is, see, I'm speaking now. If I see a snake in my room, I immediately start running and get to the outside of my hospital and stand there, and then only I will start thinking what has happened, because there is something called as autonomous activity. There is something called as flight and fright response which is happening in the body, that pumps in lot of sugars and that pumps in lot of blood and helping me to land up somewhere outside to a safer zone. If suppose this snake is tied to me inside the room, what will happen? All this pumping and things will start happening 24 hours, thereby leading to all complications in the body, which actually happens in stress and stress-induced diabetes. Yes. So clinical manifestation, we generally say three, which is polyuria, polydipsia, polyphagia, which is more of urination, more of thirst, and more of appetite. In spite of all these things, the patient will experience weight loss, because when the patient takes a lot of food, the food gets digested and the sugar gets formed, but the sugar doesn't reach the cell. So in turn, the cells does not get the energy. So the body is losing its calories. The other side, the cells are messaging the brain that it doesn't receive enough food. So the brain activates the appetite center. So in turn, you take more food, but still it does not get processed. And the body on its own protective mechanism tries to dilute the blood and bring out all those sugars in the blood in the form of glucose in the urine. So you get more urination, thereby you get more thirst. So that is what is happening around diabetes when it is poorly controlled or when it is over and above the normal limits. Out above all these things, the patient will have weight loss, weakness, fatigue, and of course glucose in the urine. I hope you all know that all these are not seen in all patients. Only one symptom, like weight loss alone, will be seen. In some patients, in male patients, they'll say they got some ulcers in the genital organ. So that itself will give us a suspicion that the patient is having diabetes. So such variations in females, they have some chronic infection of the genitals. So that can give us a clue that the patient may have diabetes. So all these are general things that we see in clinical practice in diabetes. Okay, let us not discuss this more because you all know about diabetes. Let us come to the solution, which is why we are all here now. Yes. So these are general solutions which anywhere you get: no smoking alcohol, weight reduction, and walking for 30 minutes, healthy diet where more of vegetables are there, reduce your salt consumption. This is available in any modern textbook and you can see that. But coming to our management mantra. So what I generally say is eat less, work more, de-stress, and sleep tight. So if generally these four things you follow, this is more than enough to prevent or control or reverse diabetes. Yes, your waistline is your lifeline. I've been telling this right from the starting of this presentation. There are more of free radicals which are produced in the abdominal obesity, in the abdominal fat. So that does all the culprit in the body. So first and foremost thing is if you have a belly fat, try to reduce it with some exercise and your food pattern. Let us come to Ayurvedic therapeutic interactions. So when we go as a diabetic patient to any doctor, the first and foremost aim is to bring down the blood sugar. But is it at all about diabetic management? No, not at all, because we saw many other symptoms which may not respond even if your sugar levels come down with medications. So what you have to do, that is why I'm here, I'm going to teach you. Yes, treating diabetes the Ayush way. So what Ayurveda says is balanced diet, detoxification in the form of immunomodulation, active lifestyle, balanced body weight. This will keep the metabolism correct and prevent all the diseases in the body, including diabetes. If it is not done, then mrityu prameha rupena, you will get death because of diabetes. So that is how our ancient scholars have put diabetes into a serious disease category. Yes. So simple ways to identify. We saw the symptoms. So if you are having such symptoms, or if somebody says you have these symptoms, then better tell them to go for a checkup. Go and meet a qualified doctor. So here I am trying to put two categories of people: the obese people who are diabetic and the lean people who are diabetic. Because when the treatment comes, if we divide the treatment according to this, then we will be able to see much more improvements in the patient's health. I hope I am audible. I hope the PowerPoint is visible. Simple ways to treat. I've categorized four. I've already told this. Aharam, which is food. Viharam, which is your lifestyle or activities. Aushadam is medications, and Kriya is the treatments, external treatments that can be done through Ayurveda. Yes. So I get many patients in OPD daily, 30 to 40 patients I see, and in that none of these people interestingly say that, sir, I didn't eat for 2 days, I didn't eat for 5 days, that is why I got this disease. No, it doesn't happen at all. Always people come and say, sir, I ate there, I ate this, I ate in meeting, I ate in canteen, I ate snacks, I ate biscuits, and I had landed up in having diseases. So this is how now things are. When you see this yellow sapad, you, even though you had food, you will again think that you need to have food. So that kind of affinity it gives. So in this yellow sapad also, in our culture, we have a very scientific understanding. We take pal payasam first and then go for parupu ghee and then go for puli related items, and then go for, when we have a heavy meal, we go for tambulam, which is betel nut. Why this order? Why we are not eating curd rice first and then last sambar rice? That doesn't happen. Why? Because when you have lot of acids in your stomach, when you give sweets and when you give ghee, that is the best way of digesting them. So that is why we give them first. And then when the acids slowly reduce, you induce acid production by giving sour foods like puliyangodambu, like more kodambu, like rasam. And when there is all digestion that has happened, to cool down your system, you take more. And you see to that none of them left undigested by taking tambulam. So this is a small science which we have in Elisa Party. You have to know that, because everywhere this diabetes can happen, and we have certain simple remedies in our day-to-day lifestyle which can prevent them. That is why I'm giving this example. Yes. And then coming to again treatment. Generally we say rice is against diabetes. No, I don't agree that rice is not against diabetes. Rice is not a culprit. rice has not spoiled our diabetic values. We have spoiled the rice, and thereby the rice is spoiling us again. So what we have done, we have started polishing the rice. We have started using many technologies in rice production, and I hope you all know that 20 years back we were able to get old rice from the shop. When we go to the shop and buy, sir, பழைய அரிசியா கொடுங்க அப்படின்னு கேட்போம். But that is not available right now. You cannot get old rice in the shops. Only in basmati old rice is available, and it is 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, the rate increases accordingly. But in 20, 30 years back also we were getting old rice. That is actually good. So old rice is definitely needed in and unpolished rice, of course. So you can try the other conventional rice varieties which are available. We'll see them later. Of course, barley, kovakai. Many people say that bitter gourd, pavakai is good for diabetes, but I personally don't agree, because pavakai, when you take 4 to 5 pavakais every day, then it will help, but we cannot do that. But whereas kovakai every day, 250 grams in the form of sambar, kodambu, kootu, poriyal, sabji, then tair pachadi, or even salad. Anyway, you can take kovakai because it can be even eaten raw. So this has certain alkaloids into it which can help to maintain your sugar levels and make the bioavailability possible for insulin. So kovakai is good. Sindal is another herb. Right now we are not using in our home, but some 50 years back this was part of our cushion, part of our culinary. And then paitam paruppu, godumai, ragi, pavakai, poondu, manjal, all this has some anti-diabetic values. So if we start shuffling them and using them alternatively, then that is more enough. We always say in Tamil, adhigam alavukku meerinal amrutamam anji. Nanje. Like that, what happened now is we started taking rice in the form of idli, dosa, pongal, appam, idiyappam, uttapam, sadam, variety rice every day, every afternoon, every night. And that is why we have landed up in having diabetes. But that doesn't mean that you have to stop rice completely. After all, we are all South Indians and we cannot live without rice. So when we take rice, we should be little conscious and take rice only one time a day, and that too, this is your correct quantity. Your hand, how much it can hold, that much amount of rice in the form of idli, dosa, vada, something. You can take that amount of rice, and equally, if you take some food, some curry, some sabji, that is more than enough to balance your sugars. So when it comes to fruits, we generally say Kapitta Jambu Falasara Bakshitam for Vinayaka, for Ganesha. Why? Because Ganesha is having a obesity. Yeah, I hope you know he has a big head, so his pituitary gland is very big. So when we take Ganesha, we should take fruits like apples,
Just say, sir, you're not audible.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Am I visible now? My PowerPoint is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where did I leave?
Previously,
Previous slide, sir.
simple ways to treat Vedanta.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So hope I completed this slide. I think there's some disturbance here.
Yes, sir.
Disturbance. Okay. So when it comes to aharam, we have excessive sweet, salt, and sour taste to be avoided. Oily foods have to be avoided, and tubers like urlakkadangu, senakkadangu, seppangadangu, maravallikkadangu, all these have to be avoided. And aquatic animals like fishes, then crabs, all these things have to be avoided according to Ayurveda. And the reason researchers say that when consuming them for a longer time, they land up in having diabetes. And curd, of course, Ayurveda says milk can also be a reason for having diabetes. Now we all take milk invariably, so we are all becoming a victim for diabetes. So we can have a second thought in having milk. And juices, the juices will have a lot of starch and glucose ready-made available. So when you drink them, then it is a problem. So instead, if you start chewing them, it is much helpful. Even in that case, there are some high glycemic index fruits which are like bananas, jackfruit, sapotas, and sita that can be avoided. And as I already said, newly harvested rice is a culprit. Sleeping in the daytime is a culprit. Alcohol, smoking, stress, all these things can be avoided to overcome or to reduce or to prevent or to reverse diabetes. So this picture can tell you how the recent day exercises are. People go to the gym simply to take a selfie and they come back. So that is how they are. They go monthly once and take a selfie and come, and they keep updating on the Facebook and WhatsApp and statuses saying that they are hard working in the gym. But that is not happening. So if you are working, it has to be for you, for your own benefit. So try to do some physical activity so that the glucose gets into the muscle and your body blood sugar levels are maintained. There are other exercises like for obese people, aerobic exercises like walking, jogging, swimming, all these things can be done. For lean build people, if you ask them to walk for 6-8 kilometers every day, he will not be able to do. So for those people, you can tell them to go for resistance training like kettlebells, dumbbells, weightlifting, and all those things. And for flexibility, yoga asanas can be done. In yoga asanas, what happens is cortisol levels becomes low and it reduces the stress. Stress is an important factor we already saw for increasing the blood sugar level. So if the stress is reduced, your sugars can be brought under control. So when we see yoga asanas, for obese people, Kapalabhati are more beneficial in bringing down the sugars, whereas in lean build, Shidali pranayama are more helpful, whereas all people can do Nadi Shuddhi pranayamas and asanas. So when we come to asanas, we cannot bypass Surya Namaskaram because Surya Namaskaram has all the asanas put together as a package. So if you start doing Surya Namaskara every day, that itself will be more than enough. But of course, it has to be done under sun because we are not right now doing anything under sun. We are trying to do everything inside home, inside AC because a lot of gyms are there. Everything is air conditioned, and that sweat which does not go out is going to again damage the body. So do asanas under sun. Yes. Generally, when we come to anti-diabetic herbs, the anti-diabetic herbs have to have all these benefits, like increasing the effect of insulin, increasing the secretion of insulin, reducing intestinal glucose absorption, reducing insulin resistance, increasing satiety, reduce glucagon release. But what our Ayurvedic herbs do, you can see Haridra, which is nothing but manjal, Amalaki, which is nothing but Nellikai, Triphala is nothing but Kadikai, Nellikai, Tandrikai, Gurmar is nothing but Gymnema sylvester, Sakarakolli. Then Vijay Sar is nothing but Sandalwood, Sandalwood Sandalwood
Sir, you are not audible again, sir.
No, it's bad.
Am I visible? My PowerPoint is visible?
Yes, sir.
I think Surya Namaskaram, did I pass? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I hope I completed the Surya Namaskaram.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let me share the window alone. I hope the PowerPoint alone is visible now. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
I have to
Okay.
stream with you.
Yes. So when it comes to exercises, as I already divided people into obese and lean built diabetic people. For obese people, aerobic exercises, and for lean built people, resistance training can be advised. And for flexibility, yogasanas can be advised. Resistance training is nothing but kettlebells, dumbbells, and weightlifting. A person of lean build cannot be told to walk because that will be more troublesome for him. So for him, resistance training alone has to be given. Then, what is the use of doing asanas? The asanas will help to reduce the stress levels and thereby helps to stimulate the pituitary gland. Open. So when it comes to asanas, we have for obese people particularly, we can do Kapalabhati. For lean build, we can do Shidali Pranayama. For balancing, we can do asanas. So whenever we speak on asanas, we cannot surpass Surya Namaskaram. So Surya Namaskaram has many asanas put into it. It is a package. But often what we do is we do Surya Namaskaram inside our bedroom. That is definitely not helping us. So try to do Surya Namaskaram under sun because that has more than 100 benefits doing to our body right from the head to the toe. So try to do Surya Namaskaram under sun. That will help to hope I'm audible. Hope I'm visible and audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, when we go to modern medicine and see from the modern angle how the anti-diabetic herbs have to work, these are certain points which are discussed in modern textbooks, like increasing the effect of insulin, increasing the secretion of insulin, reducing intestinal glucose absorption, reducing insulin resistance, increase satiety, and reduce glucagon release. These are too technical. I don't want to get into them more, but still I'm just saying you. But you see the Ayurvedic herbs, which are designated for diabetic treatment 3000 years ago, they satisfy all the modern parameters for being an anti-diabetic herb. So Haridra, which is nothing but manjal, then we have Amalaki, which is nothing but Nellikai, Triphala is nothing but Kadika, Nellika, Tandrika, then we have Vijaysar, which is Vengai, Guruchi, which is Sindal. They satisfy all the anti-diabetic herb activity needed in the body, and hence they are very much helpful in managing diabetes. There are certain medicines that can be used. These are little technical. You can just go through the medicines, but never ever start using them without a doctor's advice. Kindly be very much conscious on using the medicines. Don't think that Ayurvedic medicines are herbs. They don't cause any side effects. So let me start using any medicines right away. No, it's not so, because there are many other things which are there while selecting the drugs. So kindly go to a professional help. So there are so many medicines and tablets available in classical Ayurvedic medicines which are good for diabetes. Then we have certain external therapies. We saw about the aharam, which is food patterns. Then we saw about viharam, which is about exercise, asanas, and the resistance training, everything. Then we saw about the medications that are used in Ayurveda. Now we are going to see some of the external therapies that are going to benefit in controlling the sugars or overcoming it, or even for that matter reversing it. So there is one famous treatment in Ayurveda called Shirodhara. You would have seen this in most of the bus back ads, to reduce your stress, to reduce your BP, undergo Shirodhara. So this Shirodhara is one important treatment which is going to reduce the stress, and it is going to normalize two neurotransmitters called serotonin and norepinephrine, which regulates a wide rate of neurophysiological processes which are going to help you to control your hormonal secretions. So this is one important treatment that we do in Ayurveda, apart from certain Panchakarma procedures like Vamanam, which is therapeutic vomiting, and Virechanam, which is therapeutic purgation, and Vastis, which are enemas. So all these are also part and parcel of diabetic management, or preventive diabetic management in Ayurveda. So when we come to, so that is about diabetes and its management. And when we come to, sir, we already have people in family, my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, all are diabetic. Now it is anyway going to come to me. What am I going to do? What can I do to prevent it? Yes, there are certain points that I can help you with, that can make you at least postpone your diabetic episode. So all these things that we have seen in the previous slides, if you follow them, very very tough, but still, if you are going to follow it continuously, you are going to postpone your diabetic episode. But if you are following this for next 9 years, you can remove this diabetes from your gene itself, because often we say diabetic is genetic. If my parents are there, definitely it is going to come to you. But just imagine, did we have diabetes like 2-3 generations before? No, the diabetes came only in between. So it was all because of our habits and lifestyle that diabetic got embedded into our genes. So the same way, if we reverse our habits and lifestyle, we can definitely remove that embedded gene from our body, and we can keep our future generations away from this disease. And we saw diabetes, but there are so many diabetic complications. As I said, every minute 6 people are dying. So most of them are dying because of all these complications, like eye related, neuro related, heart related, kidneys related. You would have all heard some people getting their toe cut, some people getting their leg cut. All these things are happening, amputations. So this is all because of diabetic gangrene formation, where the blood supply itself is cut, and because of that, the physicians are forced to remove that part, because that sepsis may spread to the whole body in the patient bay and eye. So in that case, we have to protect the patient's life. So we remove that leg and that toe whenever is needed. So all such complications can happen. So this is a small chart which shows a lot of diabetic complications that are happening, that we are frequently encountering in our OPD practice, where cardiac complications are more pronounced in India. Yes. So one thing you have to understand, by managing diabetes, if at all you got diabetes, the edge over managing diabetes from other contemporary medicine to Ayurveda is, you are going to prevent complications. That is number one. Number two, you are going to reverse the diabetes. In a matter of 6 months to 1 year, you are going to reduce the medication, stop it. But you have to understand that you are always diabetic. But you can control your diabetes without medicine. So that is possible with Ayurveda. But when you go to the contemporary medicine, you will start with one single medicine, and slowly that medicine becomes 1 time, then 2 times, then 3 times, then it is fortified, then you get a higher dose, then you go for double medication, triple medication, then after 10 years you land up in having injections, and that also with all complications and medicines for all those complications. So such things can be definitely avoided if you are coming to Ayurveda. And as I said, there is no suppression. You are only trying to cure. Your blood sugar values will slowly come down. You are already under modern medications. we can definitely slowly taper the modern medications and stop it at one point of time. And Ayurvedic medications also slowly can be brought down and can be tapered and stopped at one point of time. But you have to understand that you are still diabetic, but you can live your life without medications. That is possible with Ayurvedic medicines. Ayurveda, generally we say it doesn't have side effects, but I always tell this and finish my speech. One of my PG encounters when I was doing my PG, one small child, the mother brought a 6-year-old boy who was comatose, who was in coma, who was unconscious. We tried to revive that baby. The baby never revived. Why? Because the mother followed simple home remedy for the child's cold cough, thinking that it is cold cough. But because the child had some other heart issues, because of that, it was gasping. The mother thought that the child was suffering from some cold. So what she did, you will all do it generally. She took coconut oil, put some camphor into it, boiled it, applied to the chest, and thought that the baby started sleeping after applying this. But the baby was becoming semi-conscious because of camphor poisoning. See, we think that this is a simple home remedy, but this has taken a life of a precious life of a small baby. So whenever you seek medical advice from Ayurveda or herbal medications, kindly go to a professional doctor who's a graduate or a postgraduate and seek their help. That is very important. Don't follow Facebook, WhatsApp, and other textbooks and daily magazines and start using medications yourself, because they will have certain other complications which you will not know now. But generally, Ayurvedic medications it is scientifically validated. It is very cost effective, because when you consider the duration, when you take modern medicines, it is going to be for lifetime. None of the modern medications are going to be stopped immediately. It is going to be lifetime, and the doctors will also say that if you are diabetic for the life. But in Ayurveda, we also say the same, but you can come out of the medications. So my conclusion here is, definitely you can reverse diabetes, and if at all, at least you can control your sugars and bring down your medications if you follow all the things that I told you. If are not possible, try to take medicines at least regularly, because I always say 4 pillars in management: diet, lifestyle, medicines, and food. I mean the stress levels. So if you follow any three sincerely, one is not needed. So if you follow these three, medicines may not be needed. But if you are following medicine alone, still you have to follow any two of them to effectively control your diabetes. So with that, I like to end my speech, and I think some interruptions were there in between. I apologize for that. I'm not sure what has gone wrong. And thanks for the opportunity to the management and MGR University. It was a pleasure for me to address you all during our founder and chairman, Dr. A.C. Shanmugam sir's birthday celebrations. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that very informative talk. I think it has been very useful for many. There is one question from the audience side: how to prevent diabetes among younger generation?
See, that is what I had told already. Diabetes can affect any person. That too, if your parents are diabetic, then you are highly vulnerable, because when the parents became diabetic at 60, the children became diabetic at 50. When the parents became diabetic at 50, now the children are becoming diabetic. Children are becoming diabetic at 40. So when this trend continues, probably in 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, people will start getting diabetic. So right now, at this second, we have to pledge ourselves to change our diet and lifestyle. That is the only way, because there is no shortcut method. Take this herb for lifelong, you will not get diabetic. No, that will not happen. There is no shortcut methods to achieve that. It is about our diet, lifestyle, and de-stress life. So all these things have to be made available for younger generation, so that they live a healthy life without having diabetes and such other disorders. So there's no shortcut. Once again, you have to listen to the entire session to to help our younger generation.
Thank you, sir. There's another one question. What type of food has to be taken for diabetic people?
As I already told, I have already discussed that in the session. First thing is, let us not avoid rice, but let us try to use unpolished. That is very important. Try to use rice only once daily. Try to use solid foods, chew them well. Try to take more of vegetables. Try to avoid juices and gruels and things. Try to keep a flat tummy. Try to do some exercises, and keep your stress levels at bay. All these things have to be done. Still more detailed explanations are already there inside the session. So I think this is a YouTube recording. So I hope this is available for the future reference also. People can again see that slides.
Yes, yeah. The link is the same. The recording will be available anytime, so you can just go back and watch. Thank you so much, sir, for answering the questions. So now, as we come to the end of the session, I call upon Mrs. S. Shobana, madam, to give the vote of thanks.
And sorry to interrupt. I think I was a little fast in between, because there were some disturbance and interruption. So I just wanted to finish the session. So I think I conveyed everything, but it was a little faster. And I know that this is available. This recording is available. So if at all any doubts are there, my phone number is there at the last slide and in the first slide. Anybody can feel free to call me and contact me. My email ID is available. I'm always available at my hospital, and right now I've resigned my job as a professor, and I'm full time available at my hospital. So anytime you can always put forth your questions to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So now it's a time to give the vote of thanks. So good evening to all. This is Shobna, Assistant Professor from IT Department. The best and beautiful thing in the world can't be seen or even touched. They must be felt by heart. Thanking in one such prayer among them. I consider it's a great privilege to propose the vote of thanks to all the dignitaries who have witnessed this occasion on institutional social responsibility on reversing diabetic in Ayurveda way as a memorable and successful event. Today, my word are not enough to express the gratitude on behalf of my department from Dr. MTR Educational Research Institute. I would like to thank our speaker, Dr. R. Sivakumar, Medical Director of Chennai Heritage Hospital, who's graced us with his thought-provoking address set a perfect platform for our university. Thank you, sir, for such a knowledgeable and enlightening session. I would like to thank our Honorable Chairman, A.C. Shanmugam, sir, and Dynamic President, Engineer A.C.S. Arun Kumar, who has been a great continuous support system and always encourage us to take a step forward and stay ahead. And also, I thank our Registrar, Dr. C. Palnivel, Joint Registrar, Dr. B. Cyril Raj, and Dean ENT, Dr. N. Etiraj, for their guidance and encouragement in all our effort. Then I also extend my heartful thanks to my heads and colleagues who work hard to ensure that this event becomes a milestone. Last but not least, I want to thank all the participants, those who are in this event. Without you, this event would not be a great success. Once again, I thank you all for your attention. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all once again. Uh, let let us see once again, and if there is a possibility, let me address you in some other topic soon. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Once again. Thank you so much. The feedback link has been posted in the chat box. Please fill it before you leave, because only those who fill the feedback form are eligible to get the certificates. It will be active for only the next 20 minutes. So please fill it before you leave. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all future notification about our future events. Thank you so much. On behalf of the entire Department of Information Technology, I wish you happy days. Thank you so much.